Okay, so we would like to solve what is essentially a quadratic equation. What this really is 3x squared, right? Plus 5x minus 4 equals 0. And we want to do it with these limitations. We're only allowed to have answers that are between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2. And we're allowed to include both endpoints. So let's go ahead and use the quadratic. Well, if we wanted to try what I call the ACB method, a times c, that's 3 times negative 4, is negative 12. Factors of negative 12 that add up to 5. So I can't think of any. 1 and 12 don't, 2 and 6 don't, 4 and 3 don't. I don't care what kind of signs you have, it doesn't happen. So we are stuck with the quadratic. So we're going to say x, or what we really mean is tangent of x is equal to, well, I guess I should say that tangent of x is equal to minus b, so that's 5, plus or minus the square root of b, which is 5, so 25, minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. Okay, so let's see what we have here. We have minus 5 plus or minus the square root of 25, take away 48. No, not take away, plus 48 over 6. And so let's see, what do we have there? We have 73. Negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 73 over 6. Alright, so it's calculator time. I reach for my calculator and I say 5, which is negative, oops, helps to know how to use a calculator, negative 5 plus the square root of 73, and we'll divide that by 6, and I get 0.59. They said 3 places. I round to 1. Okay. And then what happens if I do the same thing, but this time I say minus? So I subtract the square root this time, and I divide by 6, and I also get negative 2.25. Don't have to round this time. I'll just leave it at 7. Okay, so we know that the pi over 2 is equal to 3.14 over 2, so about 1.57. Either way, plus or minus. So it looks to me like that would be the only answer worth having. That's where the tangent crosses the line. And if we go to Desmos, and I did this already just to keep from having to type it in, you see that that's what I get. Oops, that's what I get. This one was too far out there. It's not in between. But there we go. The graph confirms it, Desmos confirms it, so that's nice. And we just treat it like a quadratic, and we can just confirm it with the graph, so that's nice. So go ahead and solve for x where it hits the, don't lose track of what you're doing. You're finding out where it hits the x-axis, okay, between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2. In your case, it's a different limitation. It's between 0 and pi. But anyway, there we go.